Good evening, good afternoon, whoever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene takes place in the not in the hotel, rather, in the Theatre Royale, one of those grand old quasi 50s movie theaters wherein they try to bring the glitz and the glamour of the stage to the cinema. You see faded antiquities that were at one point lavish appointments of Baroque style. As you step into the foyer, there is a service counter which probably at one point served concessions and a number of large, very comfortable looking couches upon which recline several individuals. Having conversations in low, respectful voices. This is the Prince's Elysium of Dublin. And into the Elysium, a new face will join us. And on that point, I will step out, and I'll be back in a few moments.
Okay. The new face is Duco. He is of Italian descent. He's wearing a decent suit, nothing particularly ostentatious. He's got black hair, probably in his maybe late 20s or so, and he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Okay, so sorry, standing nearby will be a very studious-looking Nosferatu. Since this is Elysium, he doesn't have his mask up. Obviously ugly, acidic yellow eyes, pointed ears, bald. He's wearing what most would assume to be a stereotypical college professor's outfit. Tweed blazer, suspenders, corduroy pants, a button-down Oxford shirt, slick-looking loafers, and he is wearing a lab coat that is pristine white. He is also carrying what looks like a briefcase, and he is looking around rather intently. He is squinting a little bit, but he will then pull out his glasses and push them up his nose. Do you have offensive to animals?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure. Do you have inoffensive to animals?
Nope, just standard vampire offensiveness.
Okay, all right. Just making sure that nothing's going to come out of my sleeves and attack you. All right. He'll look over at the new person and he will kind of tilt his head and say, I don't think I've met you. I've spent a little too much time underground lately. Did you see the sky is normal again?
I did.
Yes, it's very good. I didn't end up back there again. I did not want to end up back there again. Sorry, I have not been sleeping well since, well, what day is it?
Tuesday.
Oh, sorry, I should have spoke more precisely. The date.
The 23rd.
Right. It's been 7 months. Yeah, 7 months. Yes, but it's all back. Everything's back to normal. The Elysium's normal again. Everything is back to normal. Sorry, my apologies. Dr. Michael Brightman, Nosferatu Primogen. What I assume you are new to this city, but not new to being one of us. Otherwise, you would have run screaming out the door when you saw my face.
No, I've seen many of your kind before. I am Duco Travasino.
Well, welcome to the Elysium of Prince Vincent Hennessy, of Clan Nosferatu, Defender of the Realm, Keeper of the Faith, and so on and so forth. He is one of the people that was instrumental. Well, he was probably the most instrumental person in getting Dublin back from the Sabbat, as well as one of the most poignant figures in handling the resurgence of the Sabbat.
For the record, stepping literally out of from behind Michael, you will see this individual. She has her hands kind of clasped behind her back, as she just puts hands on Michael's shoulders, like you're trying. That's what matters. You're trying.
Oh, yes, Whisper. Sorry. I'm out. I'm out of my room. I'm out of the. I'm out again.
Baby steps are important. Hello. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Duco Travasino.
Of clan.
The Sabra anti-tribu.
Well, that's interesting.
So you're not like Ambrose. You weren't part of the rebellion. You are one of the line of the emissary, correct?
Yes, my sire was anti-tribu.
Excellent. Ambrose did a great service to this domain. I understand that he actually fell in front of me during. Oh, sorry, that was Roris. Never mind. I understand that he fell in the assault against the Red Lister. So he's a credit to your blood, even if he is not of your line.
Well, considering from the report I've read, he literally screamed at the rather unpleasant entity in question, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough." I believe the being in question proved it was in fact hard enough.
Wasn't quite what I heard, but he died the way he lived, shouting at things that could beat him.
Whisper looks up at the new. How tall is he?
He's probably about 5'10".
Okay,
That
she's
average height.
slightly shorter, but not by much. She's about 5'8", 5'9". She looks at him. Okay, so let me get this straight. You're here to do the whole kiss the ring malarkey, yeah?
I'm here to introduce myself to the prince as is customary.
Okay. Hang on. She's wearing a long kind of duffel coat, and she reaches into it, and you see her like fiddle around as the one side of her coat opens. You see the fact literally there are dozens of different pockets of different sizes stitched into the inside of her coat. Like there must be around 24 pockets of various different sizes. Hang on. There it is. She opens one of the pockets and with a little zipper, and she removes a notebook before taking out a pen. She flicks open the book. Okay. Well, on the bright side, he is taking visitors today, so I tell you what, why don't you stay out here? Michael will make sure that you're all comfy, situated, seated any way of your needs, and I'll go inform the prince that you've arrived. Kosher?
Sure, and may I ask who you are?
Oh, hi. I'm Whisper. It's nice to meet you. She extends her hand.
He shakes it. What title do you hold to have the ear of the prince?
I have no official title whatsoever. I just make it so that everything keeps on turning. Think of me like a glorified secretary, and you're not far wrong.
I think you're a bit more skilled at things than being a glorified secretary.
Is
I would.
there a seneschal?
Yes, he's not here though. I wonder. He's probably off trying to kill something. He used to be the sheriff. I think he's having a little bit of trouble getting away from his old line of work.
He does have a certain proclivity, I'll give him that. But Francis Beaumont of Clan Toreador, or Beaumont of Clan Toreador, is the current seneschal. If you'll excuse me, I'll go and tell the prince that you've arrived.
Fair enough, thank you.
She replaces the book inside of her robe. And basically what she does is she walks through a large set of double doors that clearly lead into the screening or auditorium room that the old cinema used to have.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The door swings closed behind her.
So, Duco, may I call you Duco, or would you prefer Mr. Trevisano?
Duco is sufficient.
So, don't take this as me prying into your business, but what do you personally do? Judging by the suit, you obviously do something with a sense of style.
I mean, just a suit for important occasions, like my introduction to the prince. Kind of wrap up my business in a nutshell. I'm in the import-export business.
You'll want to be careful of a man by the name of... He pulls out a book, starts looking through it. Evan, what's... who am I trying to think of? Yakuza boy.
Oh, Sideshow.
Saisho calls himself Lord Saisho of the 1,000-headed Shinsengumi. They're an import-export business in the city as well, and he is he's not one of us. He's one of the... Ooh, and he will literally waggle his fingers towards you while making an oohing sound.
Hey, Evan, OC, would my character at least know of Lord Saisho as far as the underworld's concerned, but not what he is?
Want to roll me an intelligence suit-wise check.
Alrighty. Go Discord. Four
successes?
Yep.
Sideshow is the head of... I'm just going to correct Brett's slight altered pronunciation of it. It's the 1,000-tailed dragon Shinsengumi.
Sorry. I thought it was headed.
Which is a major splinter organization of the successful Japanese criminal syndicate. He is very well known for doing a lot of things related to human trafficking and the selling of illegal documentation to immigrants, as well as the moving of people. He's quite big and powerful in Dublin ever since he won a gang war against a figure who was simply called the Monk, publicly executing him and basically consolidating a lot of the Dublin underground into his service.
Okay. So Duke will say, I'm familiar with Lord Saisho and his organization.
Well, then I guess my warning was ill-timed. I've only met him once, and it was when he was interfering in our war against the Sabbat.
But I'm not sure what you mean with the wiggly fingers. And
from everything I've seen, from everything I've heard, there are mages in this city, and he is one of them.
Okay.
So apparently he can do more than just break your legs or disappear. Well, he could disappear your family, probably literally. Or you could wake up on fire. I try very much not to involve myself with them. After all, I'm a creature of science. Very, 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 very science. At least I was focused on science until the Red Lister showed up, and I got a one-way ticket to hell for 30 seconds. 30 seconds in hell, or it's not really hell, it's like the outside of everything, and there are all these eyes. And being outside for 30 seconds, it could have been 30 years. So you can understand why I'm glad he's gone and why we're not there right now.
I have a bit of experience with such things.
I really hope you don't. That you don't know what I'm talking about. Because I think I'm still broken from it. Like Whisper said, I'm taking baby steps. It's not anybody's fault. It's mine. I tried to gather as much intel as I could over what Ishar was doing, and apparently what he was doing was opening up a miniature portal to the other side.
For the record, you will see coming from the Prince's Elysium this woman who is dressed pretty much exactly as she's pictured. She has a very kind of feral glint to the eyes as she walks. They almost look luminescent, like cat's eyes that you'd see glinting in the darkness. But she looks at both of you with those eyes before she continues to walk out of the room.
Meet her eyes as she walks.
At which point, about 20 seconds later, Whisper pops her head out the door. The prince will see you now.
Thank you.
Good luck, and if you want a happy life in this city, don't insult his chowder. There have been people who have done that. Hasn't ended well. But you'll
Who's
do
his
fine.
chowder?
Well, there's Sketcher. That was the one that got insulted. So don't do that. And don't insult Enigma, or Whisper will break your arm. No. You'll rip his arm off and beat him with it, right?
Depends. I'm not that violent, but you know, people in the city have had an odd. As she opens the door for free to step in, people in the city have had an odd habit of insulting the Nosferatu. We're not very inclined to accept it anymore.
As you're heading in, Michael will call back, but don't worry, you'll do fine, and he'll wave his hand.
So you walk through a very small room that you can clearly tell was there to block sound between the two areas before you step into the main auditorium. The main auditorium itself is a grand, kind of half circular room in which there are many dozens of fold up chairs, or not fold up chairs, but chairs that where the seats fold down. You know the what the fuck you find in cinema theaters. But they're very grand, old, kind of everything is gilded in gold, even though the gold itself becomes shabby. Overhead, a half-broken chandelier hangs from the ceiling. You see that there are a couple of people in here, two or three of them on the balcony having a conversation, kind of looking down at you. And you see this figure seated. He's just sitting on the stage with his leg kind of dangling over the side of it. He has a book in his hand that he's just reading through. Before you see him make a note in it with a pen. As you approach, the masked face turns to look at you. One interesting thing is, do you have any Auspex?
Let me double check.
Check the things.
One. I have one.
Okay. Even with the Auspex, you can't see his eyes. They're hidden behind basically a miasma of darkness that can't really be penetrated. So you'd assume there's something magical in the mask.
Gotcha.
But he looks at you, and he kind of, when you get to a certain point, Whisper just says, "And bow."
And Duco will bow.
Okay. He kind of gestures for you to step forward with one hand. The first thing you will notice about Mr. Hennessy is he's really short. Like, when he stands up, he's only about 5'2" or so. But he says, "So, another shadow, eh?"
You are correct.
I'll hope that you do better than the last one. I did make him my court jester, but he unfortunately expired shortly thereafter.
I certainly hope I do better as well.
He extends his hand down from the stage. "My name is Vincent Hennessy. It's very nice to meet you."
And Duco will grip it firmly, but not too hard.
How much potence does Duca have?
2.
Okay. There's a lot of potence in Hennessy's grip.
I am Duco Travisino.
I will put out, he's not using it to crush her, you can just tell it's there.
Gotcha.
But he'll say, "Indeed. Import and export, I believe. Yes?
Yes.
Not at all affiliated with organized crime."
No. No, I am not a representative of the five families of New York.
Amusing. So, you wish to ask for the right to remain in my fine city, am I correct?
I do.
Hmm. He ponders for a few moments. Very well. There is a senior member of your blood, an elder of some note, by the name of Father Martin de Prince, whom I think of as the unofficial spokesman for the Sombra within Dublin. I have no doubt that you should seek him out at some point at your earliest convenience to have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Good. Hmm. Interesting. You see him make another note in his book before he puts the book down. So, what is it that you were searching for in Dublin?
To make a name for myself. To get under from the shadows of certain people and show my worth.
I've always thought of worth as being an internal phenomenon, not an external phenomenon.
Well, unfortunately, hailing from the clan that I am, I have to do extra to prove my worth to the Camarilla.
There's a mixture of this. Your clan have always been socially doweristic, but mixed with this, well, the fact that you are right. Many of our blood view you as the enemy, so it is that you must strive ever harder. That must be a difficult set of circumstances.
I am the Sombra. I crave difficulty.
I have no doubt of that. Very well. You have my right to remain within the domain. Is there anything else you would ask of me?
No, not at this time. So now
Very
that
well.
I reside here, I offer what I can to the defense of the Camarilla.
I would expect nothing else. I will have it made note of. Mr. Delano, the Master of Harpies, will see you on the way out, and he will take certain details from you.
Of course.
In that case, I shall bid you good evening.
Good evening, my prince.
He inclines his head before you see him go back to his book.
And Duco will take a note of people in the room who witnessed his introduction.
There are a number
And
of
then,
people in the room, but they don't really seem to be paying much attention. You can see a handful of them, at least three of them, upstairs on the balcony, who appear to be having some kind of debate with each other, but it's a very quiet debate. But it appears rather emphatic, if you understand me.
gotcha.
As you exit, you will see this individual moving through the groups. He has a huge book chained to his side that bounces ever so slightly with each step that he takes.
Hmm.
Oh, you are the new, well, the new face, monsieur.
I am.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Alexander Delen, Master of Arts of the city of Dublin. He
Ah,
will extend his hand.
he will shake it firmly. The prince was telling me to expect you. It's nice to meet you.
I am always prompt when I'm summoned. Let us get on to brass tacks. He opens his ledger, and you see him. He basically flick, 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 flick. He flicks it to what appears to be a blank page before he points
Hmm.
down. He says, "All right, let us begin. What is your full given name?"
Duco Travasino.
Okay, Trevisino. Very good. And Whom was your sire?
Let me pull up my background. Oh, I knew I wrote this down. His name is, there it is, John Genovese,
He makes a note. And what year were you embraced?
1922.
Very good. Very good. Are there any outstanding debts, benefices owed to you or owed by you that you feel the domain should be made aware of?
None.
Very good. In that case, you have been entered into the Arctis ledger. If you accrue boons or boons are owed to you, then if you would kindly inform me or one of my deputies, they will be added to the roster.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Could you be so kind as to warn me of the various domains so I don't poach?
Of course. A better idea would be if you would please provide me with your cell number.
He gives the self number.
What he does is Delano accesses a secret file that's kept on a secret drive. And he basically sends you an overlaid copy of what looks like Google Maps with some very interesting differences, which denotes the various different domains in the city.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
You are very welcome.
Very efficient.
Well, we do our best. Unfortunately, the previous Prince Train was, how do you say, very vengeful in his mindset. He liked to make edicts, but not really thought about how they would be carried out. The Nosferatu, on the other hand, are meticulous and very technologically savvy.
That they are.
Ah, I see one of them. Monsieur Brightman, Dr. Brightman.
Oh, yes, Grand Harpy. My apologies. I was thinking about this dissection I had to do. We lost one of the dolphins today. It was quite sad.
Huh. I'm very sorry to hear that. Have you been told that there is apparently to be a celebration party for the destruction of Aisha?
I was informed of it. When I heard about it, I was still down in my room and was not really looking at my phone that often. Until I got told, "Hey, it's no longer green and ugly outside. You can come out now," and I came out. But yeah, I heard about the party.
Interesting. I was merely wishing to see how widely circulated this particular piece of information was.
Well, fortunately, it was brought to my attention particularly by one of my clanmates. So,
Oh,
if the Nosferatu know it, well, not everybody knows it, but we can make sure people know it.
absolutely. There you go, I suppose. um, I was also told to give you this. He will say to Duco as he hands out a business card.
He takes it.
It possesses the name of Father Martin Prince as well as his phone number. The prince said that you should more than likely contact your elder when it was you had a moment's time.
Yes,
I
I will
carry
do so as soon as I leave here.
I carry so many business cards, it's not even funny.
I do not envy your position sometimes.
Honestly, if Toreador did not do it, who would do it?
No one as well, I'm sure.
I like him. Good, good. Hmm. So much to do, so little time. Uh, well, I need to go and see to certain arrangements. Can Tremere is still skulking around the park. I feel I may have to go and shoot them with a broom.
That would be an interesting sight.
Hmm. It's more so the fact that I don't know what they're doing, in all honesty, and I have to be the liaison between them and the prince. And all they seem to be doing is walking around in gigantic circles, first clockwise, then anti-clockwise, then clockwise again, and talking at the dirt. And it's highly.
I don't think anyone really knows what the Tremere are ever doing. Sometimes I wonder if they even know.
They recently, as you more than likely know, needed to eat a gigantic piece of humble pie when they had the trophy boon for Aisha's death called on them and were forced to recognize the now clan Salubri. That was, I would have paid money to have been at the inner council for that particular meeting.
That will have very wide-reaching repercussions.
Yes.
There's a
Out of
few Tremere
character,
back home who I know would be quite pissed.
out of character, Evan, is Max Shrek still Nosferatu Primogen, or is it Cock Robin?
I
I mean,
believe,
Nosferatu Justicar.
I believe it is Cock Robin.
Okay. Huh. I could always ask him. That might have been interesting. He'll chuckle to himself for a moment and then say, "Oh, if anybody would have been able to observe the looks on their faces, it would have been our Justicar."
Yeah, man. As you said, will have very wide-reaching consequences. However, once again, it was one of the few times in Cameron history all of the inner council apparently voted yes on the topic. So there you go. Let's see how that one goes.
Mhm.
It has reached a very wide audience, and a lot of very old kindred have been hoped, for lack of a better word, on the topic.
Duco will give a smile and says the inner circle unanimously voted on a topic.
I'm led to understand the last time that happened was approximately 80 years ago, but yes, it did, in fact.
Well, the Sabbat must be right. Gehenna is upon us,
To be
he
honest
says
with you,
with a chuckle.
I think the reason that they did so was quite possibly because of this Sabbat. If we recognize the Silubri as a clan and bring them into the fold, as well as an apology from the Tremere for their treatment, it might undermine certain elements within the Sabbat whom themselves claim to be, quote, Silubri anti-tribu. If they have the option of coming into the capital of arms, then it weakens the Sabbat.
Interesting.
As I'm sure you know, unfortunately, we have lost the vast swathes of France during the last, we are calling it the Paris incident. And currently, the capital is besieged, and the Prince of Paris, a member of my own clan and my own bloodline, Master Valence, is missing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Mm. Needless to say, it is of great concern to all Doriador.
Naturally, but you in particular. He's family.
Anyway, I have taken enough of your time. I shall bid you both good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Grand Harpy Delano.
He
Good evening.
he puts down the book, and it once again kind of bounces on his head as he makes his way through the room into the prince's chamber.
Michael will produce a business card just in case you do need anything. I do claim the zoo as my domain, so do be careful there as well. But I do keep it open after hours for members of our kind to enjoy.
Oh, thank you.
The-
I'll have to go there sometime.
All right. The business card will read Dr. Michael Brightman, board of chairman for Dublin Zoo, head of primate research, and then we'll list off doctorate of zoology, doctorate of biochemistry, doctorate of genetics, masters of anthropology, masters of psychology, and what was the bachelor's? I can't remember, and it was not important. So, yeah.
Him's an educated boy.
You are very well educated, sir.
I've had a lot of time to do it. I've been around since the end of the Civil War.
Ah, that makes sense.
So, if you can't better your mind, if you can't better your body, what good is this world?
Very true.
Oh, I will leave you to it. Have a pleasant evening. I better go see the king. He's been peckish lately. If only Queenie hadn't eaten all the hams. And and on that note, he will actually walk out of the Elysium.
Interesting.
All right. On that note, I think it's a good time to call it. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.